All right. To anyone joining in, I'm going to give just a minute for all the streams to catch up, and we'll get started with this community update. So let's let everyone join in here. I'm going to be watching the chat on YouTube and the comments section and chat on LinkedIn. So feel free to join in those discussions. And let's get started here in just a minute. All right, I'm just gonna pop a comment in the chat for anyone that's joining in to encourage you to be a part of this. I'll occasionally look over into that chat and see if anyone has joined in. Just make a comment here. There we go. All right. I think we're ready to get started. I'm just waiting for LinkedIn to show the video. Waiting for the host to start. I did start it. Give me 1 second to see what's going on here. Just check all this information. We'll get started right away. As far as I can tell, pre-live. Oh, I think LinkedIn might want us to restart the stream. So to everyone sitting on YouTube, just give me 1 second to reinitialize this for our LinkedIn friends. Thanks for your patience. All right, that looks good. Same stream key. All right, let's try this again. I hope everyone is staying healthy during this holiday season. Here we go. Let's start this thing. All right, so I've clicked go live. Let's start here. I'm going to give LinkedIn just 1 second to catch up. We'll get started. If you're out there, thank you for joining the stream today. And it's a beautiful new week. We are getting close to the holiday. So I hope you're having a great time with your family. And let's get started. Welcome to the Do It All newsletter update for December 14th. This is the content for the previous week that we're going to recap, and I want to thank you for joining the stream today. Let's jump into this. My name's Gabriel, and I help people all around the world with confidence and mindset, and I'm really glad that you've come here today. You can join any of our streams on LinkedIn or on our YouTube at Let's Go Do It All channel. And if you're enjoying this, please follow me, subscribe to the channel, and become a channel member. There's exclusive perks that you can get at any tier level. You get all the perks at the lowest level, and if you want to support at a higher level, then I would really appreciate that. So you can join us at youtube.com/@letsgodoitall, spelled just like this, /join. Other ways that you can support the channel are through Ko-Fi, so ko-fi.com/letsgodoitall. And you can check out our merch store at shop.letsgodoitall.com. Thanks. So let's jump into this content. Yesterday, December 20th, I released a deep dive on core identity. So a big part of this newsletter is about self-awareness and knowing yourself. So on this topic, kind of a synopsis of a lot of the content we're going to go over here. We have a deep dive, and let me just read a little bit about this. There's a lot of content, so I'm going to keep it kind of short, and I'm going to let you go to the newsletter and dive in deeper. But who are you beneath your labels? If that title went away, what would remain behind it? So we go into some data on this topic, and let me go through. Here's some of the headlines. So about the labels and the limits of those labels, your core value and your authenticity, introspection and hidden motivation. So really looking inside and thinking about what drives you. And here's some actionable steps from this deep dive that let's go over right now. I'd like you to pick one label that you use a lot. If it's parent, boss, maybe student, and try living a day without acting from that title, right? You're going to be that person, but don't try to overemphasize the actions related to that title. Then journal one choice you made today related to that and ask why 2 times. So really think about it deeply and ask why you made that choice based on that title that you were focused on. Then sit and pause and take 2 deep breaths and really notice what values and how that feels inside of you. If those choices felt right, or if you felt like maybe you were putting too much pressure, or if they don't feel right at all. And then finally, maybe make some notes about that in that journal entry. And then finally, go to a mentor or close friend and ask them, what do you see in me that I miss, right? And sometimes this can be kind of hard to listen to, but think of it like objective data. It's not blame or ridicule. And you can do this with a few of those labels. Test one, see how you feel about it. Test another. And really think about which ones of those labels really serve you on the deeper level. Why does this mindset work? These small tests give you clear feedback when you watch for it. So you have to be really mindful of what you're looking at. You can't just, do this quickly. You have to really think about how you're trying to align yourself. The journal entries make patterns visible. So as you write a small line or two about those feelings that you came up with, you can look back on these journal entries and really reflect on the greater data of it. You might not see it right in that moment, but as you go back and you look at several entries, you'll get a bigger picture and possibly see some patterns that show up. And then, of course, breathing before responding makes space for truth and it calms you. And lastly, feedback opens up the blind spots that we might have missed. So write something like, I am so-and-so, and then do that 3 times with different roles, right? Try this exercise and go into this deep dive, and let's hear how this helps you. Now, this is all derived from an episode I did on knowing yourself, a Temet Noske video. And if you'd like to really dig a little bit deeper, you can watch that video on the Let's Go Do It All YouTube channel or follow the link here. Finally, a great book on this topic is The Untethered Soul. And if you want a quick link to that, this uses my Amazon affiliate link. Doesn't charge you any extra. It just helps the channel with the 1% that Amazon would normally take as their profit. So thank you for supporting that link. Finally, on each of these topics, you'll find that I give some stats and some real data behind it. And you can look at that. Here's a few stats, like 7 in 10 Americans are likely to set goals. And then there's a business case for emotional intelligence. And finally, all these topics get posted across a wide range of social media, and you can find each of those social posts below each item of the newsletter. So this one in particular is on YouTube, X, Discord, which is our chat server, LinkedIn, and on Ko-Fi. And you can go there, and whichever is your favorite social network, share your thoughts in those comments, because that really helps the community grow. So also on Saturday, yesterday, the 20th, I released the short video on this topic. And what I'm doing here is I'm releasing video for the people that like video, and then a deeper write-up for the people that like to read a little bit more. So whichever you enjoy, I'm covering you in this content, and you can go and watch this short. It's titled, Who Are You Deep Down? Find Out. Of course, if you enjoy that short, give it a like, share it with a friend, and that really helps support the channel and get the content out to other people that it can help. So is a truer you hidden behind labels and titles? Know your values. Self-awareness helps in goal achievement and in work performance. Some tips are to journal your daily choices and review these weekly. Go back and look at all those notes you made on your phone or in your notebook. Pause and take 2 breaths before deciding, and then reflect on those values and ask someone you trust for feedback. So like we talked about in the previous stats, 70% of people are going to set a goal. And goal setting is really healthy. It's a great thing that helps you grow and get stuff done. And you can stay motivated by taking small steps and then celebrating each progress, right? Don't try to do the whole thing all at once and then get frustrated and just throw it out. Cut it up into small steps, celebrate each one of those, even if it's just as small as straightening up your desk the first day so that you can do a little bit more the next day. Go into each of these stats, you'll see a numbered link, and that drives over to the data and the research for this information. So again, here's a small test you can do. Journal about a tough choice, dig deep and ask twice, why did I do that? Discuss what you learned with a friend. really listen to whatever they have to say. They're not trying to beat you up or trying to make you feel bad. If that person really cares about you, they're going to give you constructive criticism that helps you grow. And that's what it's all about. And then whatever you find from all these steps, really reflect on it and ask yourself, are those values aligned with who you really intend to be or what vision you have for the future? Again, check out the full Tim Nosuke video and feel free to check out this video short on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Discord, I think I said LinkedIn twice, and Ko-Fi. Moving on Friday the 19th of December, I released a deep dive on being authentic. So stop living inside labels. You're so much more. On this same topic, I really hope that you would check out this deep dive. It's a little bit different, but in the same realm of information. And find out more about those labels, what self-knowledge looks like. Get some quick tools that work. Check out the common pitfalls you can avoid. So by being knowledgeable of these pitfalls, can help you be more successful and be prepared for what's coming. And then I give some actionable steps in this deep dive, how those changes can show up. So what to really look for when you're looking for this progress or trying to find more about yourself. And we go into just a quick overview of journaling, pausing, and using these small tools to better yourself. So on this Be Authentic deep dive, I give a recommendation of the books Emotional Intelligence and a very popular book, Atomic Habits. And again, some further reading. A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. This is a study. And a second one, working with people who aren't self-aware. Reading this data can really help you see the gaps that you have. So they're very interesting topics if you're the kind of person that likes to dig a little deeper. So which label, after you do this deep dive, which label will you keep and which one will you drop? Really think about that, and whatever you find, share it in the comments, and that helps other people grow from your experience. The comments aren't just about, saying, oh, this was great, I love this. Really share something that you've gone through. Someone else will read that, and it might be an aha moment for them. So you can find this deep dive on Be Authentic on YouTube, in the community on YouTube, where you can make comments and make your own posts in the Do It All community. X, Discord, LinkedIn, and Ko-Fi. And then finally, for this deep dive, the short is labeled Reject Labels and Be Your True Self. Feel free to check out this video. You can search for it on YouTube and on LinkedIn, also on Instagram, TikTok, and on X by this title, Reject Labels and Be Your True Self. Go to youtube.com/@letsgodoitall and check out the short section for this and other self-improvement and personal development videos. And here's a quick test to check your inner alignment. So here's a little data. 47% of people's minds wander through the day. Why is it wandering? Is it wandering because maybe you don't really feel good about something that's going on? You're hesitant about what you're doing, or you don't feel aligned? Is yours? Really think about why. And if we think we know ourselves, the shocking truth is the data shows only about 10 to 15% of people really do. So are you so sure that you know yourself deeply? And that's not a dig on who you are. That's really intended to make you think, if I think I know myself, what if I'm a little bit out of alignment with my vision and my North Star? So these exercises are to help you feel more fulfilled and find more happiness in your day. So do this. Phase 1. This is kind of an iterative, phased approach. Pick a label and write it down. Close your eyes. Deeply contemplate that word and take 3 deep breaths. And then ask yourself, how do you feel? Do you feel empowered or limited by that title, that role, or that label? And then the outer test, so you've tested how you feel inside, check with your mentor or a good friend. Could be someone in your faith or in your community, your spouse, and ask them what their perspective is, right? Phase 2 on this process is if that thing aligns and it lifts you, keep it and own that status. If not, just release it from within and see how you feel in a day or two. You might release it and you might feel great, or you might release it and you might not feel any different, but you should do this to really find out and see how it settles, and then journal about those findings so that you're not trying to store all this self-reflection and personal discovery information in your mind, because you might make mistakes recalling it. So make a quick journal entry. And then finally, don't rush this process and wait until you feel grounded. Repeat it with the next label. It could be a day or two later, could be the next week. You might go through this slowly. And after a few rounds, go back into that phone note or your notebook and read those journal entries. Really reflect on what the outcome was of those personal studies. So then you could swap this label check with a habit or a routine. It might be smoking, or it might be, you get home and you just grab some potato chips or something. Whatever it is, you can really introspect on these habits, routines, labels, roles, and really feel how they align with who you want to be. And do this greater self-study once or twice a year. You might just devote a week to it. You might give it 2 weeks or something, right? But this helps you build self-awareness, and it helps you stay on the path that you want to be and not drift off to the side and start feeling like things are hopeless, right? Let's keep you positive and keep your goals in mind, and making sure that you're reaching where you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and beyond. So again, for this item, check out the full episode on self-discovery on the Let's Go Do It All channel on YouTube, and share your thoughts and your experiences with all these community posts: YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, Discord, LinkedIn, and Ko-Fi. I feel like I'm saying LinkedIn so many times. But share your thoughts and share your comments there, and really read through other people's comments and see what you can gain from their experience. That's what this is all about. Going back to Thursday, the 18th of December, here's a deep dive on finding your true self. Who are you when no one's looking? So go into the newsletter. You can find the link down here in the description to this newsletter, and read this deep dive on your true self. Then think about this information and share your feedback. Did this help you? Have you done something like this before? You'll learn about values, your triggers, habits, and stories that you might be telling yourself, whether they're valid or invalid. And so here's some actionable steps. Set a 5-minute timer. Write a sentence about how you felt this morning when you woke up. Name one value that mattered in a choice you made today. And then again, get some feedback, right? It's okay to ask a friend. I mean, you don't want to be doing this like every week, every day, but when you go through these once or bi-yearly processes, it's okay to reach out to your mentor and say, hey, I'm really trying to align myself. Can I ask you some questions to get your honest opinion about me? That'll really help you see blind spots. So go through this deep dive, check out the why this works and the examples, and share your thoughts. Check out the full episode on this true self topic. And some great books on this subject are Daring Greatly and The Power of Now. So if you like to read, check out the book recommendations in this video and in this newsletter and tell me what you think. I'd love to hear it because I read so much to make this content and to make these long form and short form videos, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Some further reading on this topic: Working with People Who Aren't Self-Aware and the Efficacy of Journaling in the Management of Mental Illness, a Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis. So you can find this data linked in the newsletter. And if you're really into really digging into the weeds on these subjects, I'm trying to provide context for all sorts of people, whether you're into the video, a short post, like the short text that's connected to the video post, a deep dive like this, or, studies and book reviews for the people that really like to go deeper. So whatever you like, share your feedback and I'll help tailor this content so that you're getting the best value no matter what you love. Here are the social posts for this topic. So go to each of these, comment on those, and then here's the short for this. Who am I really? This is the short video for that deep dive. And we talk about, do you know yourself? Do you know who you are inside? And to try this quick test, so watch this short if you're into the shorts, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And please become a member of the YouTube channel. That's going to help me grow and turn this vision into a much bigger thing that really helps more people around the world. All this information is based on leading data and research, and I connect with authors, researchers, and scientists around the world and get their feedback. So that's where all this is coming from. I'm bringing you this data from the best books and researchers and trying to boil it down to really help you get something useful for your daily inspiration and motivation. Let's move on. Tell me what you love about this short. Tell me your feelings from the YouTube video, the TikTok, Instagram, X, Discord, LinkedIn, or the Ko-Fi page. And here's the poll for this week. This one's based on what's best for your financial peace of mind. Is it budgeting? Is it saving? Maybe it's investing, or it's planning. So these polls are designed in a way that no answer is incorrect. In fact, I can only give 4 options. So if you have something that works great for you, please share it. I would love to hear, and the community would love to hear, what works best for your peace of mind when it comes to finances. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're unprepared, and then you're scrambling for money or support. So what helps you? Which small steps ease your money stress fast? I like to use a combination of these things, and a large member of the community does too, but we all have our favorite thing that works for us personally. Emergency savings alone may not be sufficient for long-term problems, right? Planning and small buffers will pay off. And financial health is part of your well-being. Understanding your future reduces worry. And small habits will build fiscal resilience. It's not about trying to just, take one savings and chunking it off all at once. You have to make a small habit of these things and really chip away at it over time, and that's going to be more sustainable. So track 1 week of spending, and this is about awareness. These are some tips you can use. Automate a small monthly savings. So when you get your paycheck, you could just have like $25 or 10% go into a savings automatically, right? That's just money that's going to build up over time that you don't even have to think about. And the first time you get your paycheck, you're going to think, oh, I really noticed that $25 or that 10% isn't there, right? But the next time it's going to normalize and you're going to get used to not having that small amount, but it's going to start building in the background. Next, set one clear short-term monetary goal. So that's about having immediate gains. That could be something like, I was planning to go on a big shopping spree, but I'm just going to get what I need. And then finally, review your budget for 10 minutes a week. You don't have to put it off. You can just kind of plan out, okay, next week, I know I'm going to have to go out to a business lunch, or I know I'm going on a trip. So just look at that maybe on Saturday or Sunday of your weekend. Look at it for 10 minutes, whether you use an app or you keep it in a spreadsheet, and be mindful of these things. So as you go through the week, you've already kind of planned out, I know I have $50 for this, so I know I have a little money for this. So being mindful is a great thing. And here's a quote by Warren Buffett. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after savings. So that's about putting your priorities first, saving before you go and splurge, right? Then you know you're going to be fine because you've planned, you've budgeted, you've got that money set aside, and then you can go, do something small or do something big even, as long as you know that your bases are covered. Savings makes priorities real. Small regular saves compound over time, and budgeting and review reveal unseen leaks. So that's why this budgeting and review process, this like weekly, monthly review, is important, because it lets you identify like where money might be draining out. Emergency savings protect against surprise events. Simple plans stop reactive money choices. Small automatic actions beat willpower, and financial clarity reduces stress and frees your focus. So why are we talking about all this? This is about your personal development. This is about your mindset and your well-being. And a big part of that is your financial planning and your financial well-being. You're not going to feel well if you're constantly on this roller coaster. So I've provided this introspective poll on your financial peace of mind, just to kind of give you a few tools on how to settle this roller coaster and be a little bit more predictive. So which step will you take today? Maybe you'll combine a few. And then you can find a few stats on this. 63% of adults said they could cover a $400 emergency expense using savings, cash, or a card, but many households lack larger cushions. If you really think about it, whatever denomination or whatever currency that you use, do you have enough savings for an emergency, right? And so that's what these automatic savings are about, and really taking that process seriously. And if you're curious, there's a really great book that I love, so ask me offline. Ask me in a comment, and I'll share a really good resource that recommends a much higher rate of savings, but is going to create much more sustainable well-being for you. Some more data shows that about 5% of employees took a hardship withdrawal from their retirement accounts in 2024, not this year, but last year. And that's up 2% from 2018. So more people are kind of dipping into their savings as the economy has been in a bad place. And that's more reason why it's important for your mental and for well-being and for your future to make sure that you're saving, investing, budgeting, and planning, and using all these tools to compound together. So jump into this poll, leave your vote, and let's see what helps you. Here are the links on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, Discord, LinkedIn, and Ko-Fi. Now, moving on, we do a deep dive into simple kindness, how one small act can start a chain reaction. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this deep dive. You can find this on YouTube, on X, on LinkedIn, in our Discord chat server, which you can find an invite code below, and on our Ko-Fi page. So read this deep dive. Here's a intro, is try it and watch how one small choice grows into something huge. And you can read on to discover how. Let me just read the intro here. So you walk out of your door, you're late for work, but you see your elderly neighbor's newspaper in the gutter. It didn't, like, the newspaper person didn't throw it all the way up, and it's just sitting in the gutter, and you're afraid, oh man, their newspaper is going to get ruined. So you stop. You pick it up, you walk it up to their doorstep and set it down. That little delay probably was like 20 seconds, right? It's not a big deal, but you might have saved your neighbor like their frustration, or maybe they needed that newspaper to find a job or look in the classifieds. And just these small things, we see something, you can act on what your heart tells you to do. It really doesn't take that much time, but it might make the world to that person. And that's what this deep dive is all about, why these small acts matter. Real ripples that happen in the world. How kindness changes you. The barriers we all face, and some actionable steps. Today, pick one easy thing, a smile, a door, or a quick favor. 2, make it real. Look a person in the eyes. Say their name if you can, right? Don't just, say thanks and be looking away. Like, look them in the eyes and say, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That small connection means everything. And do it again tomorrow. And try one small act a day for a week. Notice what changes for you. Log how you feel, what you noticed as you took, like, just doing one thing per day for a week. And then after you've got that week's log, look back on it and share this information with a friend and ask them to try the same process and see how your life changes and what changes you see in the community around you. So there's some more subtopics on this, like kindness at home, at work, online, and to know yourself. A short plan you can try is on day 1, smile at 3 people. Day 2, give one sincere compliment. Day 3, hold a door or just help someone carry something, right? Day 4, write a quick thank you message. It could be to your coworker or one of your employees, or it could be to your spouse, right? Day 5, let someone go ahead of you. It could be you see someone's coming in frantic at the coffee shop, or you're going to work and you see a person really in a rush, just let them in. It's not that big of a deal. Day 6, offer a small treat or a tip, And day 7, notice what changed and keep one of those habits. Make it like, do this more often. So you can read about how to measure this ripple and really go into what you notice, telling a friend, and keeping that ripple effect going. You can find the full episode on this small kindness on the Let's Go Do It All YouTube page and share that with someone. This is all based on data and on facts. And so check out the description of that video for a huge list of references. That's something you normally don't find, but since all of my content is research-backed, I give all the research links and the data that backs up all of this. And then finally, some great books on kindness are The Go-Giver, The Power of Kindness, Dare to Lead, Give and Take, and The Art of Happiness. And there's some further reading, studies on this, on these small kindness. So moving on, here's the short on this kindness topic. It's called A Smile That Changes Everything. I love her smile. It's so happy. So check out this short on all the social platforms, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, on X, LinkedIn, Ko-Fi, and in our Discord server, and share it with someone and see how they feel. See if they share it with someone else. Tell me what you think about this, and if you agree, or if you have had a different experience. I'm curious. Do one small, kind thing today and see how far that ripple goes. Smile first, hold the door, or give a sincere compliment. So jump into this short. Tell me what you think of this. Maybe read the deep dive also. Tell me what you prefer. I'm really curious because I'm trying to really make a difference no matter who you are, what kind of things you're into. Which content do you resonate with most? And finally, don't forget to just say thank you to someone, or like I said, just a smile is the simplest thing and it can really mean the world. Moving on Tuesday, I did a deep dive into the book Big Magic. And this is a book about creativity. So this deep dive here is about finding your creative spark, sustaining that creativity, and really unlocking what you have inside you, using curiosity over perfection, right? So read this deep dive on creativity, find out why this matters, how to give yourself permission to play, small habits that become big magic, just like the title, moving through perfectionism. So, as a perfectionist, you might be thinking like, not yet, because you want to get everything perfect first, but break through and do the next small thing instead. Just get started. It's okay to want to do something great, but you have to get started somewhere. And so doing small steps helps. And repeat those actions to build progress and teach yourself lessons. And if you really want to be a great leader, then teach other people from the failures that you make so that you can give them a leg up and help them on their journey. That feels really fulfilling. So I give you some actionable steps from the book that you can use for creativity, why these steps work, quick wins to keep you going, and wrap it all up. And then finally, here's the book link from Elizabeth Gilbert for Big Magic. So grab that book with my Amazon link. That'll help me with the small 1% that normally would have gone to Amazon. And those small, that small bit of support really helps sustain this project. So thank you. If you'd like to get some further reading into this, check out these studies here. At any skill level, making art reduces stress hormones. And the second one, Americans who engage in creative activities at least weekly report better mental health. That's real science that takes creativity and actually works it towards your better well-being. So check that out. Leave your comments on any of the social posts. And then, just like before, for the deep dive, here is the short titled, Could Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert Boost Your Creativity? And here's a little quote from inside the book: do whatever brings you to life. That's one of my favorite quotes, and I go a little bit further into that in this short. So watch this short on YouTube, grab this book, and tell me what you think. Let's see how your creativity blossoms. And that's the whole goal, is to help you feel more fulfilled and happier in your life. So if you have creative dread or fear, maybe 10 minutes could beat it, right? Start with a 5-minute curiosity warm-up. Just journal or doodle freely. Like, who cares what you write if it has spelling errors, if it's like weird drawings? That doesn't matter. What matters is that you're just letting your creativity flow. And then after you do that, make a draft from all those messy notes. That's a great way to just get all your ideas out and then refine it down, right? You don't have to make the perfect airplane all in one sitting. You sit down and you sketch it out. You sketch out the wings and you sketch out the engine. And then like, oh, maybe rocket engines wouldn't be as good. Like, let's put a prop on there. So you put the good ideas together and then you come up with something iteratively. So check out this short on creativity, read the book, and tell me what you think. And make this a habit. Like the creative project process isn't something that you sit down and you make the perfect painting one time, right? Any painter or artist will tell you that that canvas has been painted over like dozens, if not hundreds of times. That sketch that you see of that, beautiful drawing, it started out rough and then it became refined over time. And any creative process is like that, whether you're writing code or you're making some sort of artistic creation. It starts rough and it gets better over time. So don't try to rush it. Make a habit of doing these small steps. Oh, here's some cool stats. Creative practice lowers stress and helps you think clearer. Nearly half of people use creative activities to manage their stress. Isn't that interesting? So be one of those people that uses just whatever small creative hobby you have to like drop that work stress. And 75% of people's cortisol dropped after they made some sort of art. Isn't that interesting? So cortisol is that chemical your brain makes that makes you feel like tense and stressed. Just do some art. It's gonna like really loosen you up. And they have these community art groups you can join, and you go. You might not have ever even painted, but you go and they like teach you how to draw the duck, and you like do it one step at a time. You do like an arch, and then like you draw some water. Go do that. Like, get some friends together or just try something new and see how doing a little bit of art and creativity helps your stress levels and your happiness. So just 10 minutes a day and be curious. Those are the top tips. And then finally, on Monday, which was last December 15th, just like today, I did a newsletter wrap up. And if you're enjoying today's newsletter, go and check out the previous live stream. You can find that on LinkedIn and on YouTube. So check out that previous live stream from the previous week's positive content. And I hope all of this inspires you. If you're really enjoying this, please follow me on LinkedIn. Connect with me. I love having connections. I love meeting new people and finding out what makes you tick. And so connect with me. Go to YouTube. Go to TikTok, Instagram, on X, and connect, subscribe, become a YouTube member of the channel. That's a huge support for this process, right? The memberships start at just $2 a month. They go up depending on how much you want to contribute, but you get all the perks starting at the lowest level. And that's really designed to give you maximum maximum benefit for supporting this channel. And then if you really love it, like, you could pay $7 a month or whatever you feel is great. So check out the previous week's recap. And then finally, I have a merch store where I take some ideas, I take the logos, and I put them onto quality products. So here's a shirt that says, I've always loved this saying, so I just had to put it on a shirt. And I put it on sweaters also. It says, "Who tied your wings and told you not to fly?" So that's like, who told you you couldn't do something that you believed you could do? Like, get rid of that notion, right? If you want to do something, prepare yourself, educate yourself, and do what it takes to where you have the skill and the confidence, and go do that thing, because you might really regret if you don't. So that's what this shirt is all about. You'll find other great merch in the store, shop.letsgodoitall.com. Here's a cool snapback hat. It says "Let's Go." And you can find a ton of other great merch in the store, like mugs, phone cases, like bags and backpacks, and all sorts of fun stuff. Again, at the bottom of the newsletter, I've got links to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@letsgodoitall. That's the main hub, and that's why I mention this over and over again. That's where I need your most support. On Instagram, X, Discord, LinkedIn, and Ko-Fi. And Ko-Fi, if you're not familiar with that, that's a place where you can, like, buy me a coffee, or you can just also make like $1 a month or whatever you feel you want to support. So it's an alternative support website, kind of like, well, anyway. And then moving on to the very bottom, I always list the most recent 5 videos of each category. So here's the most recent live streams. Next, the most recent long form documentary and learning videos, our guest videos, and the most recent shorts. So thank you very much for joining in this newsletter recap for the week of December 14th. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to check the chat. Thank you for everyone that's joining in. It's great to see you here. Join us again for another live stream. Come check out our content. Go on the YouTube app on your phone, and it has greater community features. It's really cool. So check that out. Thank you, and let's go do it all. For our members, please stick around. I am going to keep going because that's part of our membership program. And all right, so